crisps, maybe a cake, coffee, sweets and everything, fruit. But that unremarkable weekday lunch can produce 4 or more items of waste, and that adds up. The environmental campaign group Hubbub says the UK's lunch-on-the-go habit is creating nearly 11 billion pieces of packaging every year. Their solution? More packed lunches. But if you do buy lunch, they're encouraging people to take their own container to the shop and ask them to fill it. Let us talk to Tessa Trix, who is from Hubbub. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sounds like a sensible idea, this, taking our own containers to a sandwich shop and saving that packaging. Are there any out there that are already doing this, or is this something you've just started to encourage?
Yeah, so this is something that we have been trialling through the Food Savvy Lunch Club, which was an initiative in East Anglia where we challenged a range of employees to go for a month without using single-use plastics at lunchtime. So the challenge gave them the opportunity to reduce their food waste, because we know planning your meals is one of the key things that you can do to reduce food waste, but also help them to reduce their single-use plastics. So in bringing their own lunch, they were reusing containers, but we also got the support of local cafes and canteens to see if they would offer a very small incentive if people did bring their own Tupperware.
And what kind of incentives were they offering?
Just a kind of quick, 10p off, 10%, 10% off. Very much what you see happening at the moment with coffee cups. So really just trying to create a bit more of a culture of people thinking about taking their own packaging along where it's appropriate. And all of the cafes involved have continuing the trial now. So I think it's a really interesting new conversation that it's opening. It sounds a bit obvious, as
one or two of the favourite shops I like to get my sandwiches from when I do have a takeout, they're making them there. If you like, live in front of me. So rather than putting them in cardboard or plastic that will only get thrown away, I could just have my lunchbox under my arm, and that would help the environment, wouldn't it? It's very straightforward.
Very straightforward indeed, yes.
How do you encourage cafes to sign up to this idea?
Well, it's not been a very difficult sell. I think it's the sense of businesses feeling that if customers are interested in seeing more efficient uses of packaging, then they'll sit up and listen. So it might not be that the bring your own container works blanket for every cafe or eatery or food stuff, but it certainly demonstrates that there's a real demand for seeing a more efficient use of packaging, because what we often find with our lunchtime items is that they've got many different materials that make them up, so it makes it incredibly tricky to recycle, and then people are carrying them down the road or they've still got food in them, so a lot of them don't end up in the recycling bin. So there are plenty of things along that journey that could happen just to make sure that more of our lunch on the go items are recycled.
Okay.
But yeah, ultimately making your own lunch, we think, is the best winner in terms of money saving for you and doing a good thing for the planet, because just planning and making sure that you've got a meal and the time you're going to eat all of the food you buy can help households reduce food waste by about £70 a month.
All right, thank you. Tessa Trix from the environmental campaign group Hubbub.